দাঁড়া দেখছি, আমি অন করিনি।
লাইভ
না, সেরকম তো কিছু দেখাচ্ছেনি।
দাঁড়া
না না, দেখাচ্ছে দেখাচ্ছে দেখাচ্ছে।
দেখাচ্ছে।
হ্যাঁ, প্রীতম ইজ নাও লাইভ।
দাঁড়া আমি তোকে ট্যাগ করে দিই। এটা অটোমেটিক ট্যাগ কেন নিচ্ছে না আমি বুঝতে পারছি না। উইকলি পডকাস্ট করা যায় বল।
হ্যাঁ, উইকলি পডকাস্ট অ্যাটলিস্ট বাই মান্থলি তো করাই যায়।
ভাই বাই মান্থলি তাহলে লোকজন ভুলে যাবে।
মানে সরি, বাই মান্থলি বলছে ফর্টনাইট, ফর্টনাইট সরি।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, ফর্টনাইট বলাই যেত। এই ফর্টনাইট বললেই প্রথমে গেমটার কথা মনে পড়ে,
হ্যাঁ,
যদিও গেমটা বেকার।
আমারও কোনোদিন ঠিকঠাক পোষায়নি গেমটা। যাই
তুই
হোক,
ওকে বললাম যে ভাই কিছু একটা গেম খেল, তুই খেলিস কিছু, কিছুই তো খেলিস না।
না ভাই কেন খেলবো না আমি। আমার ল্যাপ মানে আমার যে সিস্টেম গুলো থাকে, ল্যাপটপ গুলো, সেগুলো গেম খেলার মতো না। মোবাইলে প্রচুর গেম খেলেছি ভাই।
হ্যাঁ তো তুই মোবাইলে, তোকে বললাম ওই ওয়ার্ল্ড অফ ট্যাঙ্ক ব্লিটজ তা খেলতে। একটা ভিউয়ার দেখাচ্ছে, আমার মনে হয় ওটা আমারই, ওটা আমি
হ্যাঁ,
ওপেন করে
ও বাদ
বসেছি।
দে, বাদ দে। কারণ কারণ কর্ম করতে যা ফল কি চিন্তা না করো।
সেই
আরে কনটেক্সটটা বেশ ভালো। মানে এটা মানে there are different perspectives into this thing, okay?
হ্যাঁ
যেমন মানে লোকে বলে না যে কর্ম করে যাও, ফলের চিন্তা না করো, ঠিক
হ্যাঁ
আছে?
হ্যাঁ
there is some kind of what you can say, মানে বলতে পারিস একটা একটা বুদ্ধ বুদ্ধ ব্যাপার স্যাপার, ঠিক আছে?
বুদ্ধ
যে
বুদ্ধ ব্যাপার স্যাপার মানে তুই কি ওই ওই
মানে মানে আমি বলতে চাইছি রিমুভড ফ্রম
field?
দ্য ওয়ার্ল্ড। হ্যাঁ, রিমুভড ফ্রম দ্য মোস্টলি ওয়ার্ল্ডলি প্রেশার্স এন্ড এভরিথিং, কারেক্ট? মানে আমি কাজ করব তো দের ইজ অবভিয়াসলি এন অবজেক্টিভ ইন মাই মাইন্ড।
হ্যাঁ
সেটা
হ্যাঁ
থেকে দেন আই স্টার্ট মাই জব, রাইট? আংখাই তো কাজটা করব না আমি।
সেটাই।
So then it is very difficult to say that lose your means do your job and don't think for the result. Actually, the context was it was happening in a battlefield, correct?
হুম হুম।
And the opposition who were standing against Arjun were no small creatures. ঠিক আছে? They had the capacity to means single-handedly defeat the Pandavas. Fact. ঠিক আছে? মানে there were certain যদি কৃষ্ণাকে রিমুভ করে দিস from Pandavas, ঠিক আছে?
Exactly,
হ্যাঁ
exactly.
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ। তো
So that is
মানে
what happens
হ্যাঁ
when
হ্যাঁ,
you as the writer or you as the author of a
প্রোটাগনিস্ট,
storybook,
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
if you create a character that enacts yourself in the story, then
হ্যাঁ
you
হ্যাঁ
have the ultimate control over
হ্যাঁ।
how the story will unfold, right?
এবার 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 the thing turns out that uh, if you remove Krishna from the scene, okay, so now so these people
মরে
are
যেত ভাই, ওরা প্রথমেই
yeah,
মরে যেত।
so these
লাক্ষা
people were
যেটা ছিল না, লাক্ষা গৃহ, যেখানে সেই
সেটাতে lack,
পাঁচজন আদিবাসীকে পুড়িয়ে মেরে দিয়েছিল
হ্যাঁ
যেখানে।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, yes yes। তো
তো
এবার এবার
আমার
এই সিনারি,
কাইন্ড অফ রেসিস্ট লেগেছে ব্যাপারটা, মানে
because
জাস্টিস
because
চলে যায়।
asuras are asura বা কারা ছিল? Asuras are obviously the Adivasi people though, who are said to be as the racist. না, আমি এটা বলছিলাম যে আহ,
ইন্টারেস্টিং থিং
এই-
হচ্ছে যে তুই যদি জাপান, মানে ওই জাপানিজ যে সিন্টো মিথোলজি যেটা আছে না জাপানিজদের,
হুম,
ওখানে আবার এই আসুরা দেব এই কথাগুলোর কিন্তু উল্লেখ আছে। আর
হ্যাঁ
ওদের ওদের ওখানে আবার এটা রিভার্স, জানিস, মানে দে অ্যাকচুয়ালি থিঙ্ক আসুরা ইজ দ্য গুড, আই মিন দ্য গুড গাইজ। আসুরা
হুম
আর
হুম হুম
দ্য রিপ্রেজেন্টেশন অফ গুড গাইজ।
হুম, এটা আমি দেখেছি। মানে ইভেন আমি একটা কার্টুন দেখতাম খুব, ইনাজুমা 11 বলে, ঠিক আছে? তো
ইয়েস,
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, তো ওখানেও many of the techniques used by
অ্যাক্সেল
what,
ব্লেজ ছিল ওতে।
হ্যাঁ তো যে এটা তুই কথা বলছিস অ্যাক্সেল ব্লেজ, এইগুলো কথা হচ্ছে ইংলিশ ট্রান্সলেশন। আমি দেখতাম জাপানিজ গুলো, ঠিক আছে, তো অ্যাক্সেল রোজের নাম মানে গোয়ানজি ছিল, যাই হোক। তো
ওএনজি,
ওকে,
ঠিক ঠিক।
হ্যাঁ, তো এবার ওখানে যারা রিসার্চ টেকনিক্স যেগুলো করতো না ওরা,
হ্যাঁ
ঠিক
হ্যাঁ
আছে, সেগুলোতে দেখেছি আমি মোস্ট অফ দ্য টাইম, স্পেশালি যে আমাদের প্রোটাগনিস্টটা ছিল,
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ।
ফুটবলার, গোলকিপারটা, ঠিক আছে,
আচ্ছা, মার্ক মানে ওর
মার্ক ইভান্স,
ওর মানে
এন্ড
আমি
এন্ড
জাপানিজ
মামারু,
নামটা
এন্ড মামারু,
অ্যান্ডামোর।
এন্ড, হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ।
তো
তো এবার
সেই ও
ওর
একটা ওর স্পেশাল অ্যাটাকটা ছিল প্রথমে
ওর
গড হ্যান্ড, তারপরে মাজিন দা
ম্যাক্সিমাম
হ্যান্ড।
গুলো শুধু হ্যাঁ, তো মার্জিন মানে কি, মার্জিন ইজ ওর একটা আলটিমেট একটা মানে
এক্স্যাক্ট।
টেকনিক ছিল, সেটা হলো ইউজিং টু আদার গোলকিপার্স, ঠিক আছে, মানে বেসিক্যালি ইউজিং থ্রি গোলকিপার্স টু ক্রিয়েট ওয়ান টেকনিক, ঠিক আছে, সেটা ওর আলটিমেট পাওয়ারফুল টেকনিক, সো ওইটার নাম হচ্ছে আসুরা, wherein they are having different forms of asuras involved in one. হুম। হ্যাঁ, তো যেটা বলছিলাম আর কি,
হ্যাঁ
সে যে when people say कि আহ, যে कर्म करो, कर्म की चिंता, फल की चिंता ना करो, so
হ্যাঁ
here what happens is that when you are facing an unsurmountable enemy in front of you, or any unsurmountable task in front of you, okay, you
they just
have
have to
no,
do it. Just
yes, you have no
but
other option other than doing it, okay.
but I think no,
Hmm.
this is kind of like a push. This is kind of like pushing someone, that
Hmm.
there is a like difficult task, like real
Hmm.
difficult task, no one
Hmm.
wants to do it. So
Hmm.
now you go to that person and you say, you just do it, you don't worry about the result, just get on it, just start
Hmm.
it. so
Hmm.
so this is
Because
kind of like pushing someone, just start the task, things
hmm.
will go smoothly, we will look
Learn.
over those
Yeah.
things and all. So
Hmm.
to get someone started, I think this kind of things, this kind of motivational speeches are perfect.
Yeah.
But
तो
if you are
मैंने
doing something like some some what do you say, I mean, uh, if you're trying to do something that is like really challenging, and it requires a lot of calculation, kind of like a space mission, right?
hmm.
So
Hmm.
in those cases, like heavy risks are involved, like not only your life risks but also resources. You will not
Hmm.
get multiple chances to attempt this. So
Hmm.
at that time, it I don't think that this kind of approach, that just go for it, will not work.
See, the situation often happens is that initially for most of the tasks, I'm not saying all of the tasks, I'm saying for most of the tasks, the starting and the initial few days, okay, are the
Correct.
hardest. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in those days, and it often happens in reality also, that kind of development, any kind of progress
Yes.
takes huge amount of time. Okay, so what happens is that means if I take the example of going to a
Like
gym,
setting up your development environment.
yeah, okay, so it is a continuous process in for at least a month, I would say, okay, or say going to a gym, okay, if every day after doing a 60 push up, 20 push ups, 60 sit ups, you come and see your body, okay, you won't
Coaches,
কি
60
আমি
push-ups
ভাই
every day.
আমি আমি করেছিলাম না, আমি অনেকদিনই করেছিলাম বাড়িতে থেকে, ভাই জেনারেলি করা হয় না, ঠিক আছে, সেরকম
Mhm.
স্টিল ফ্রি হ্যান্ড যতটুকু পারি করি, স্টিল আই হ্যাভ গেইনড আ লট অফ ওয়েট, ঠিক আছে, যাই হোক, সো
Still no chicks.
no. So the thing happens is that when I am every day looking out for results, okay, it
Uh-huh.
makes people desperate, and when someone is desperate, he tries to cut corners, okay, with some way or the other.
Yes.
uh, and when
True.
someone is trying to cut corners in some way, okay, either lowering his goals, okay, or maybe skipping a day or two, and then
Mhm.
thinking by goal to bahut bada hai, theek hai, this that, okay, so in
Steroid.
that, yeah, in that sense, someone will give up कि अरे बहुत गोल बहुत बड़ा है, सिर्फ स्टेरॉइड लेने से ही आएगा, और और someone will say that भाई उतना टाइम नहीं है, ये नहीं है, ठीक है. So various kinds of cutting ways comes across people's mind, and that point of time, uh, it is a very counterproductive thing to think about your goals every day. Means it's not entirely my thought. Okay, I have seen couple of people who are actually great. Okay, they always suggest that whenever you're trying to achieve something, okay, at
Mm-hmm.
that point of time you must break down your goals and make smaller goals, okay, in such a way that at the end of the uh, means approximately whatever timeline is, at the end of that timeline you will be somewhere near your goal. Means for example,
Actually true. But
yeah, so for
this thing is
example,
actually easier said than done. Because
yeah,
this
obviously,
this
uh,
methodology of breaking down complicated things, no, this methodology is hard to achieve in Indian context. Because
in
like
every context, see,
no,
whenever
no,
you're
no. Why,
starting.
why I'm saying in Indian context is
Mm,
if you see the Western shows and series and movies and stuff, no, whenever they are presented with a star, they will go to a like some drawing board and then
mm,
they will write like notes and then they will try to map those notes.
mm.
This kind of this kind of practices are not taught to students in our country at least.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah,
so
certainly,
we are
certainly.
like we have to complete this much of syllabus by this time. So
Mm-hmm.
everything is already like spoon fed to us. Like
Yeah.
there is a chapter and we have to complete it by 2 weeks or something,
Mm-hmm.
and then there
Mm.
will be evaluation. So we are not good at breaking stuff down. We are good at
Exactly.
completing stuff. So
Yeah,
someone has
exactly. Mm.
broken it down for us, and then we will just complete. So it's slave mentality, to be honest.
One more reason means, just as you said, right? See, people break it down for us, and then we move ahead. So
Yeah.
see, the problem with this thing is that obviously the task at hand
Uh-huh.
is reduced in some sense. Okay, I mean, suppose if I
Mhm.
today start if today suppose I'm telling you that I am starting learning a React JS, for
Uh-huh.
example. Okay,
Mhm.
then there are courses and there are people out there who are able to guide me. Okay, so yeah,
Correct.
first read the HTML CSS. When we get a hang of it, then move,
Yeah.
and then have a JavaScript intermediate knowledge, and then move on to React. So this kind of breaking down of stuff is present more or less everywhere. Now
Yeah.
what happens is that because in India
We
everything
mug.
is no, but there is a reason for that. So the
Yeah.
reason is that in India everything is such competitive,
Correct.
and the marks of success or the parameters of success are so skewed that uh, often to achieve those success parameters within a reasonable amount of time,
Uh-huh.
we require those kind of spoon feeding. Otherwise, it is not humanly possible to do that. One classic example I would give you is that, uh, see, extremes aside, okay, means apart from the extremes, okay,
Yeah.
often people who are getting success in one of the world's examination is UPSC for say, okay, they say IPS or means a civil service background from their family, or are going to a certain coaching center,
Uh-huh.
which then gives them the syllabus or guides them across is how to go about the exam. Okay, now
Correct.
he or she might means if he has the capability, then he or she might end up cracking the exam by third attempt. Means I'm giving you the average. Okay, by third attempt
Uh-huh.
means people are able to do that. Okay, second or third attempt. Okay, but
A
there are
lot of people
people.
can complete the prelims, but it's the
Yeah,
mains that get
yeah,
everyone.
yeah, yeah. So what happens is that now someone say I start out today and I'm from scratch. Okay, I'm
Mm-hmm.
it's totally scratch. So what I would do, I would go to YouTube and everything, and then from that point of on, yeah, I would have some structure to how to go about. Still, I
Mm-hmm.
would not have the knowledge of what kind of questions are asked exactly in the exam, because the UPSC or any other kind of, say, competitive exam, especially in India,
Uh-huh.
is so rapidly changing in means in parameters, is that it's very difficult to find certain patterns over there. So in that point of time, these people who are in the business of, say, coaching for last 20-25 years, they
Mm-hmm.
know the exact core what's required in a civil servant. Means as per the examination, I am saying, I'm not saying in terms of real world application, but whatever, is that in terms of examination, these people know what are the core areas and what areas must be mastered. And that's why the spoon feeding is required, because if that person without coaching, if he goes on,
But
he might
yeah,
end up cracking the exam in, say,
correct.
third or fourth attempt. Okay, so there is
That
an
is true.
X. Yeah.
But
So.
this has created a bigger problem, because nowadays, if you see, so
Mm,
what originally this IIT, I think it's JE Advanced or JE Mains, whatever
mm,
this exam is now called. So
mm,
originally, these institutions and these exams were created
mm,
so that our like our country's most tech savvy, most engineering, like engineering aspirant in a true sense, like a geeky nerdy boy who wants to build stuff and all, so that it attracts them, right?
mm,
So that it attracts them, and then after they qualify that exam, they will be put into the like most reputed institutions in our country, and
mm,
they will further nurture their talents, and this will go smoothly for our nation. But what
mm,
happened here is this coaching centers came into the picture. So
mm,
they tried that spoon feeding. So
mm,
what they did, they created a division between the actual what do you call those nerdy rancho type of guys.
mm,
So they
mm,
created a division between those and proper psychopaths, right?
mm,
So
mm,
there are psychopaths
mm,
who don't have anything in their life. They just put a fatty on their head and try to crack everything. So
mm,
like they start their preparations from like class like standard 8 or something, and
mm,
then they go to the like some resonance or any other who takes them from high school, I think. And then
mm,
they will be mugging up all the things. They will not have good family ties, good I mean good social life and all. So they will dedicate their entire life on it, and that's why we see them appearing year and year over, even
mm.
when they have already cracked it in the first attempt. Then also
Yeah.
they just try,
Mm,
because they have invested so much of their life into it, right? So
mm,
they just can't get over it so easily. So
yeah.
they have closed their every like surrounding things, general knowledge and everything required because of this thing. Now this has created a like creativity partiality. Like they are screening out the creative students. So they are just taking in the psychopaths who will not have any knowledge of the society, because they were at the time of their character building. So at the time of their character building, they were so much focused into this thing,
Mm,
this mugging up and all those things, that they couldn't develop any other creative assets or how to talk to people and stuffs and all. So what will happen is what you are seeing right now. So after they graduate from IITs, they go to US. Most of the time US or some other countries they will go, and they will just think about themselves, because that's the way they have been brought up, right,
mm,
by the
mm.
society. So this is creating a new problem, this coaching centers and all. And
See, see,
yeah,
when we are saying that, when we all say that Indian
yeah,
education system is messed up, okay,
yeah,
the root cause, okay, so the root cause of most of the crisis in India, including the education system crisis and the corruption crisis is that the resource distribution, okay, in India, the resources in India are so limited in terms of say spread, is that uh, it is creating means a cutthroat practice for even the
Correct.
basic needs of life. Okay, so
Correct.
even the basic needs of life, okay, so someone who earns a reasonable amount, I would say in USA around $30,000 to $40,000, it is the median salary. Means it's the means what the
Yeah.
lower end, I would say.
Lower spectrum. Yeah.
Yeah, lower spectrum, I would say. I means in the job terms, I would say a guy who say uh, is working in a Walmart as a
Survival job.
assistant, yeah, and some janitor in some college or something. Okay, so these kind of people are earning in those bracket, but
Correct.
uh, in their society, okay, you won't die out of starvation, whatever be the cases. Okay, you may go on to do drug abuse, and in that case, you might die out of drug abuse. But in India,
Yeah.
resources are so short as that people of considerable amount, okay, so considerable wealth,
Mm.
often go out, means often go totally bankrupt because of some emergency or some health emergency or some catastrophe in life, and they may as well end up being in jail or being starved to death. Okay, so and
Correct.
starvation is not a very unheard of things in India. Okay,
Now
so
it's rising actually.
yeah, it's actually rising. So
Yeah.
see, I'm whatever I'm saying is that I am not talking about the current situation that's happened. Okay, in India.
Uh,
Okay, and the pandemic in this. That
in
means
general. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm talking about in general what used to happen was what was the case up to the 2019. I would say. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, so what happens is that whenever the resources of any country is short, okay, so to grab those limited resources, ultimately things turn out to be very cutthroat in any sense. Yeah. And so the things that started the IIT JE that started to cultivate scientific means to pick up those people who are nerdy, okay, as you said, okay, these kind of stuff. But given the number of applications and the number of people who are vying for that particular seat is
Hmm.
humongous. Okay, so for any institution to
Yeah.
means what I would say,
It
uh,
cannot be avoided. Yeah.
yeah,
It
it means
cannot be avoided
in
here.
a reasonable amount of time. So, okay, in a reasonable amount of time and with a reasonable manpower to do such huge screening of people and then effectively selecting those actually intended people is turns out to be very difficult. Okay,
Hmm.
see now, what I'm saying is that suppose I'm applying for a job, okay, and there are 10,000 applicants for that particular job position. Okay,
Yeah.
so do
It's a
you,
broad path.
yeah, so do you actually think the HR goes through the 10,000 job applications? No.
Nah. Nah. Never.
What essentially what happens is the initial say the bottom 3,000 would be initially rejected in the resume itself.
Yeah.
Maybe the resume parser couldn't read all their details, or
Yeah.
maybe some of the details are mismatched, or maybe they don't such people would go around 2,000 the
Hmm.
then the next 2,000 would move means go away because of the college, okay,
Yeah.
or because of the degree, okay,
Uh,
and then the next 10,000 would be unless 5,000 those who are left, 3,000 may be rejected in the first coding round itself. Okay, so the thing that was started as finding a particular person suitable for a job, okay, suitable for that particular job requirements, okay, it turned out instead of a selection process, it turned into a rejection process. Okay, so that's the problem. The resource crisis in India is means very acute. Okay, so
like
most of
if
the
we have to
problem.
solve this at some point, then
Hmm.
I think just tweaking it or like making stuff easy or just building up new institutions won't do as much good.
No,
I think
no,
we have to
obviously not
separate it
because
like in a different way. We have to do it
see,
in a different way altogether.
okay, yeah. So one very practical reason is that if those means those institutes that are lying at the top of the Indian education system, okay,
Yeah.
the, leaving them aside, okay, leaving few IITs and NITs aside, okay, the quality of education around India is
Ah.
very dismal.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why people are vying for those positions. Okay, now if means one common example I would suggest is that why a guy in see obviously the why a rich guy, okay, who is easily able to afford education in UK or US, okay, or
Yeah.
any European country, would try to compete in Indian education system. Okay, why would he do that?
See,
Because
people here mostly worry about the degree, and as we are seeing today in the West, people
hmm,
like the recruiters,
hmm.
they are like less prioritizing on the degree. They are
Yes, because
prioritizing
they
more
have
on
the
the
time. Yeah,
work capability kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So
So they have that time and they have that. See, investment is also
this is
required in that.
kind of the problem in all over the world, because all the like even in US, Canada also, there are complaints that your degree is not doing it justice, like you are not getting salary according to your degree all the time. So
Yeah. Hmm.
it is a global problem, but in India what happens is we too much focus on the degree itself, we don't focus
Hmm.
on the learning part, or even
Hmm.
the institutions that are like as you said, like other than NIT or IITs. So these
Hmm.
institutions also, they just sell degrees, so they don't have they actually
See,
don't have the capability
even
itself to be a good
yeah.
teacher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even in see why people from NIT and IIT are so is generally successful in life is that not only because of their brand tags, okay, because
Yeah.
they're from IIT, it obviously helps them out, but the
Mhm.
very good means the core essence why they excel in life is that because of the environment. Okay, so
Yeah.
why I'm saying is that suppose you are peers with someone who is giving say a class means a coding classes to around 10,000 guys around the world
Yeah.
of his age, okay,
Mhm.
and there is other guy in the room who designs websites like anything, okay, so when you are with such people, okay, naturally your level tends to go up,
Yeah.
and
Induction. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Always naturally your level tends to go up, and also your thinking capacity and your work ethics get better, and your discipline. You get more disciplined, and you are more focused in life. Okay.
Yeah.
See, these are the main reason why those people are very successful because they means once you know how to get success in something. Okay, more or less you would be able to get success across the stream mostly. Okay, because you know the key parameters of how to get success. Okay, yeah, if means I suppose I have been successful in coding, now I want to go into a teaching life. So yeah, what's the first step that I can do? Yeah, I must know the uh, subject matter in some sense to start. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, so I would go on and read stuff, or maybe listen to people and discuss with my peers. Okay, because that's how I learned.
Yeah.
Then from that peers, because and also because of the brand value, they are also very resourceful. Okay, so if a guy from IIT reaches out to certain person in industry and asks him certain technical question, okay,
Yeah.
mostly
They have
because of
easy
the
access to everything,
yeah,
basically.
so they would answer, and because of this reason they also get to know the problems in the industry much more quicker than we guys do. Okay,
Correct.
and that's how they get to know, okay, yeah, so that's the problem that we are facing in teaching. So yeah, that's how I can solve that in this manner. So yeah, let me start my small YouTube channel or small podcast where I am teaching people on various subtopics. Okay,
Yeah.
then I built upon that, then I built increase my reach, and boom, I am successful in my life in some sense. I'm not saying over the 1% of the people, but yeah, I can definitely
So like they get a head start kind of thing. Like
yeah.
I mean,
Not see, not because of what my point is that
because
it's
of the
the
institution and environment, so
yeah,
they are acquiring all those knowledges that we are we may not learn in our entire life, because we are not getting that much exposure to everything around us, and
yeah. Hmm,
we are just tied to a specific path that we are currently in, and we are trying to
hmm,
explore these paths more and more. But
hmm, hmm,
when they are in such a reputed institution, so they will meet with more and more people who have different goals and different paths, and all of them are having such depths in their own fields. So the
and also it happens is that means
knowledge
for
that they
us.
gather
Hmm,
around from the surrounding, so
hmm,
that is going to be huge,
hmm.
right?
So and also what happens is that for means for this what I would say average or below average people like us.
Hmm.
Okay, so the thing happens is that often the questions boil down to survival. Okay, so what I should learn next to be surviving in this industry. Okay, what thing I should learn next? What thing I should do next? Okay, oh
Yeah.
yeah, this thing is trending. Okay, so let me grab a bit of this and then learn. Okay, so what happens? Yeah, yeah, it definitely happens
Yeah,
for people
true.
like because we have a fear of okay, so if I get irrelevant, my position is easily replaceable, and I might not
Yeah.
find an earning position in
That's the darkest thing
yeah,
about corporate.
yeah,
You are replaceable. You are too much
yeah,
replaceable.
yeah. So that's why people across, I mean, even our higher management, you can see people know stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
so they know what blockchain is, but when a certain thing comes and they have to design a solution, they
Yeah.
generally can't do because they haven't uh, dug deep into that. Okay,
Yeah.
and but these people, these guys from these IITs and NITs, on means people means who are say average, even in average IITs and NITs. Okay, so
Yeah.
these guys don't have that fear that okay, if I fail in that, I might not get a job in say next 1 year or 2 year, and that then this might happen to me. That fear they don't have because they know that भाई मेरा brand tag है भाई anywhere. When some MNC would obviously take me for just showing off to the client that yeah, I have a guy from in my team who is from NIT this and this, and
The
these are his
further
degrees.
you push your boundaries, it will be
Yeah,
easier for you to play, because
yeah.
they have already pushed so much farther in their studies and in their life during IITs and all, that now this task they can take head on. Like they have the experience of taking difficult tasks head on previously, so they are getting that confidence from there,
Hmm.
right?
And so my point is that it might sound initially it might sound that yeah, these guys are already way ahead and we have no other way to means, uh, survive in this industry. That is also a very wrong thing. Okay,
Yeah.
I know personally know means my mentor in say JavaScript world or whatever web development world is a guy
Yeah.
who is from St. Thomas. Okay, St. Thomas is from our batch. Okay,
Hmm.
and that guy was an average performer in his uh, college days. I mean, it's not average. I would say yeah, he was good, but in school also he was very average performer. So
Yeah.
what happens is that, but he had that thing in mind, नहीं कुछ करना है मुझे और इसी लाइन में करना है. So he
Hmm.
was very hard focused on what he wants to achieve, and now, okay, he's working for PayPal right now. Okay, he recently got into PayPal right now, and he says a very good thing is that if your work ethics are good, okay, so if you are focused, okay, then and you want that thing badly, then you can definitely achieve that. But there are certain trade-offs. Okay, for say some people like me. Okay, I generally don't tend to get very deep into the matter just for the reason because at certain point I tend to get bored of that stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, so I try to explore newer areas. So in that sense, I am see there is obviously a compromise. You can either increase your breadth or you can increase your depth. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so Okay, so that going in depth has
Like
worked for me.
being a jack of all trades.
Yeah, so being
That's the easygoing policy in our industry.
yeah, so in most of the in that he has gained his success in going deep into stuff. Okay, and I find my
But
see
can
my
you
method.
do you think that this kind of attitude
Hmm.
is is inherent or it's been taught? Because if you look into our studies during in our college days,
No,
to
no,
look into
why?
that,
Why?
we
Okay.
were fed stuff. We are not fed.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
we used to have like so many assignments in a semester, and we
Hmm.
used to have uh, like too many subjects. If we say too many subjects and too many recommended books that we never read, but too many
Hmm.
notes to follow,
Yeah.
too many things to follow. So we
Yeah.
did not go into depth of anything. So I mean, like eigenvalues, vector mathematics. That was like relevant for every discipline in our
Hmm.
university, right?
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
this vector algebra, I mean this
Eigenvalues. Yeah.
eigenvalues and all those things. These are deep mathematical subjects, right? That
Hmm.
can be explored many ways. But
Hmm.
what we did is we collected few of the things that we needed for our semester purposes. We just read those chapters from those books, and some questions we practiced maybe
Hmm.
that were likely to come in our
Hmm.
exams and all, and then we went away, right? So
Yeah.
that is how we went through all the syllabus in engineering. So
See,
this
what?
this this
Hmm.
is building up into our attitude, right? So this is
Hmm.
also making us, I mean, this is contributing to our personality also at some point.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. The thing is
Yeah,
that what I know of him personally was that he was very unidimensional in his uh, what I would say study approach since his university, and that's why I said okay, he used to do well in his subjects, but he used was not very good in others. Okay, I mean I particularly know him. He was very good in maths. Okay,
yeah,
and he used to fairly confess by I don't know anything about chemistry or physics. Okay, so he had that unidirectional focus. Okay, so
yeah,
that's one way of going about. See, the
yeah,
other way of going about is that you can go to the breadth of everything, and then you can apply knowledge of subject X in subject Y. But as you said, in our means our university courses and even in our colleges and schools, okay,
yeah,
the thing is that the thing is vast. Okay, the syllabus is vast. Okay, and to accept what means just even to survive in that scenario,
yeah,
it doesn't pay dividends to go into deep into anything. Okay, so today if someone, even anyone in from our college starts studying eigenvectors and has a good grasp of eigenvectors and matrices and all the matrix manipulations and everything that's related to that particular subject. Okay,
yeah,
so that guy might have a very good hold of that subject, but he too is a human, right? So he has a trade-off. He
yeah.
is a superhuman. Okay, and not everyone has uh, some. Okay, so not everyone is having such superhuman mind to learn a particular subject at depth, and then
And it's not always possible also, because you have assignments and stuffs
yeah,
to do
yeah. So that's
basically.
what I'm saying. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying. Is that these
yeah,
things are not possible in to survive in this kind of system. Okay,
correct.
yeah, so that's one of the major bad things I would say that I had in engineering, and that bad habit has also crept into my corporate life as well, where
Yeah,
I generally do means what happens is that if some problem is given to me, okay, I might think of 10 different ways to do that, but whenever at certain stage my six or seven ways fail, okay,
mm-hmm.
I would generally give up that on that particular moment, or might ask for consultation and or say look over the internet. Okay,
Yeah,
so what it essentially is doing is that it is decreasing my patience level. Okay, my tenacity to go on with that my approach for say 1 or 2 days. Okay,
yeah,
so what I know this guy, he whenever he used to go on lead code and he used to solve some medium or hard problem.
yeah,
Initially, he would say that I would generally go about a problem in say means ponder over it even in 1 day or 2 days. Okay, and if at the end of 2 day I can't find solution, then I would move on to the solution section or discussion section, and then I would look up to the solution. Okay, so
uh-huh.
that capability is very resourceful, at least in this field. Okay, uh,
Yeah.
so wherein developing the skill is tough. Okay, and in that sense, his directional approach of and increasing patience is very much required. Okay, and
One
on the
guy
flip
I
side.
met, he was from Nepal during my provision period. So
Mhm,
that guy did tell something that if you have a goal and you want to achieve it, then you
mhm,
have to cut other options.
hmm,
So there,
yeah.
there should not be any plan B or C. If you keep
Mhm,
those things, no, you won't be able to focus on anything. So
yeah.
if
Mhm,
you are trying to do something, like if you are trying to do this problem this way, like yeah, like I will try to solve it myself. I will not
mhm,
look for the solution before I understand it completely.
mhm,
And so then you have to put some restrictions, like some chains on yourself by determination, right? So like
mhm,
that, I will not see the solution, I will not look into Stack Overflow, I will not see consult with some other friend who has already solved this, right?
mhm,
So as long as it takes like to for me to understand this properly and to come up with the solution that will work, I will
mhm,
keep focus on it. So so if you cut down all other options by like restricting yourself, then it becomes a unique, I mean unidirectional way for you.
yeah.
Otherwise, if you have like if I get stuck on this, then I can always refer to this site, right? I can always
Mhm,
refer to Geek for Geek. I can always refer to this site. So if you have this on back of your head, no, if you have these options flying around somewhere in your head, then
mhm,
then you will not be able to do anything unidirectional. So that is the problem with us, because like in our in the I mean in our industry, many things happen, many people are there,
mhm,
but in our positions, I would say, or in our talent zone, right? So what
mhm,
basically happens is the manager usually expects a return, like
mhm,
they will give you some task that you have to complete, and no one cares how you did it, right?
mhm,
So,
mhm,
how you got the answer, I mean how you solved the problem by consulting with others, or like referring to forums and such. They just want this thing to get
done.
done, right? So
Mhm,
so our our this attitude of ours of referring to these things and all, and early giving up on our own niche approach, it,
mhm,
it does actually work out in our field of work. Uh,
mhm. So that's what I
yeah,
was trying to say, is that
yeah,
this in real world. Okay,
yeah,
often the thing happens is that whenever we are facing problem, we are not facing a single problem at a particular set of time.
correct, correct,
Just means, for example, if I say, suppose I have designed one front end, means one particular component in my system. Okay, so
yeah,
now I don't know anything about front end.
yeah,
So now I go up to
Yeah.
Geeks for Geeks or something, and
yeah,
then at that point of time I go and see how the forms work and what are the things that I need to do for form. I do a copy paste and then I edit stuff. And
yeah,
uh, yeah, now the ideal way would be to read stuff and then move ahead with the code and then do that. Okay, but often in life, mostly in offices as well and in home. Okay, there are a couple
yeah,
of things that are actually that we need to attend to. there might be say a family need that you must attend, okay, and also there might be certain even you can have some medical emergencies or some crunch here and there, okay, you might have some okay personal issues as well, like I mean
Mhm.
some fight with your
All
girlfriend
right.
or yeah. So there are situations like this wherein we need to accommodate several things at a certain point of time. At those situations, doing the best optimization we can is the best way out there, okay, and means doing such cheats I would say mm, is what determines our success and our this in life. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying on that, okay. And it's already night, so and we haven't
Yeah.
even touched our actual motive. So
I
yeah,
will edit the heading.
yeah, yeah, definitely do that. Okay, and then tomorrow or day after tomorrow, let's see how the things hold up, and then we might
Yeah.
meet over the weekend. Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
okay, okay,
Okay,
okay,
then topping
okay.
off this one then.
Yeah, chalo, yeah, night.